Discover the incredible history of the Songhai Empire, one of Africa's greatest empires that controlled trade, wealth, and knowledge across West Africa. From the rise of powerful leaders to the empire's dramatic fall, learn how Songhai shaped African and world history.
In the heart of West Africa, along the life-giving Niger River, rose an empire that would shape the course of history. An empire of wealth, power, and knowledge. This was Songhai. Before Songhai became a sprawling empire, it was a modest kingdom, centered around the city of Gao. By the 9th century, Gao had become an important trading hub, connecting the gold-rich regions of the south to the vast Saharan trade routes in the north. Traders brought salt, gold, and ideas, laying the foundation for a powerful civilization. The true rise of Songhai began under the leadership of Sonni Ali in the 15th century. A brilliant and ruthless warrior, Sonni Ali expanded the kingdom with strategic military campaigns. He captured key cities along the Niger River, including Timbuktu and Djenné, making Songhai the dominant power in West Africa. Under his rule, the empire controlled the gold and salt trade, securing immense wealth and influence. But Songhai was not just about war and conquest. It became a center of learning and culture. Timbuktu, the jewel of the empire, attracted scholars, poets, and scientists. The Songhai University and its libraries held thousands of manuscripts, making Songhai a hub of African knowledge. Markets thrived with goods from across the Sahara, and the empire's wealth fueled both culture and politics. Hey everyone, and welcome back to our history series. Today we're diving into the golden age of the Songhai Empire. After the powerful Sonni Ali passed away, a new leader stepped up and took the empire to incredible new heights. His name was Askia Muhammad, often called Askia the Great. This guy was a total visionary. He completely reorganized the government, creating a centralized system with different provinces. Each province had a governor who collected taxes and kept the peace. He didn't stop there. He also established standardized trade laws and built a professional, full-time army to protect Songhai's vast borders. Under Askia's rule, the empire became a major center for Islamic learning, while still respecting traditional beliefs. The Songhai Empire grew to its largest size ever, stretching all the way from the Atlantic Ocean deep into the Sahara. It was truly a magnificent era. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more. Life in Songhai was vibrant. Farmers along the Niger cultivated rice, millet, and sorghum, while traders traveled vast distances with caravans of salt, gold, and ivory. Skilled artisans produced textiles, pottery, and metalwork, contributing to the empire's prosperity. Social structures were complex, with nobility, merchants, farmers, and scholars playing distinct roles in maintaining the empire's strength. Ever wonder what made the Songhai Empire such a powerhouse in West Africa? A huge part of the answer lies in its legendary military. Picture this: highly disciplined soldiers on horseback, swift riverboats navigating the Niger River, and the gleam of iron weapons. This wasn't just any army. It was a force that dominated the entire region. Leaders like Sonni Ali and Askia Muhammad weren't just sitting in palaces. They led brilliant military campaigns, expanding the empire and crushing any thoughts of rebellion. Their control was so absolute that it ensured peace and stability within their vast borders. This military strength also meant they had a stranglehold on the valuable trans-Saharan trade routes, making Songhai not just rich, but also a feared and respected name among its neighbors. But as we'll see, even the mightiest army can't hold back the winds of change forever. Stay tuned to find out what happened next. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. The story of the Songhai Empire doesn't end with its golden age. As the 16th century drew to a close, a storm was gathering on the horizon, one that would challenge the very foundations of this mighty West African power. For centuries, Songhai had dominated the trans-Saharan trade routes, its wealth and influence seemingly unshakable. But the world was changing, and new technologies were shifting the balance of power in ways no one could have predicted. Across the vast Sahara Desert to the north, the Saudi dynasty of Morocco had its own ambitions. Sultan Ahmad al-Mansur, a ruler with a keen eye for both wealth and military innovation, saw Songhai's riches not as a distant prize, but as a target. He dreamed of controlling the gold mines and the lucrative salt trade that had fueled Songhai's prosperity for generations. To achieve this, He assembled a modern army, one equipped with a weapon that was still a rarity in West Africa, the arquebus, an early form of firearm. In 1590, the Moroccan expedition began its perilous journey. Thousands of soldiers, a mix of European mercenaries and Moroccan troops, set out to cross the world's largest hot desert. It was an audacious and incredibly risky undertaking. The Sahara was a formidable barrier, a sea of sand that had swallowed armies before. Many in Al-Mansur's own court thought the plan was madness. But the army, supplied with water and provisions by a long train of camels, pressed on, driven by the promise of unimaginable wealth. By 1591, after a grueling march, the Moroccan forces finally reached the Niger River, the heartland of the Songhai Empire. The reigning emperor Askia Muhammad II was aware of the approaching threat and rallied his own massive army to meet them. The Songhai forces were brave, numerous, and experienced in the traditional warfare of the region. They were confident in their ability to defend their homeland. The two armies finally met near the village of Tondibi, not far from the capital city of Gao. This would be the decisive confrontation, a clash of old and new, a battle for the future of West Africa. The Battle of Tondibi was unlike anything the Songhai had ever experienced. Their army, with its skilled cavalry and brave foot soldiers wielding spears, swords, and bows, charged forward with confidence. But they were met with a terrifying new sound and a deadly new weapon. The crack of the Moroccan arquebuses echoed across the battlefield. Clouds of smoke filled the air as volley after volley of lead shot ripped through the Songhai ranks. The noise and chaos caused panic, especially among the Songhai cavalry's horses, which were not accustomed to the sound of gunfire. Despite their immense courage, the Songhai warriors found their traditional weapons were simply no match for the gunpowder technology of the Moroccans. Their charges were broken before they could even reach the enemy lines. The battle turned into a slaughter. The Songhai army, which had been the most powerful force in the region for over a century, was shattered. The defeat at Tondibi was catastrophic and absolute. With the Songhai army destroyed, the path to the empire's great cities was wide open. The Moroccan forces marched on Gao, the capital, and then to the other major commercial centers like Timbuktu and Djenné. These cities, once vibrant hubs of trade, scholarship, and culture, were systematically plundered. Libraries were burned, wealth was seized, and the intricate network of trade that had sustained the empire for so long was completely disrupted. The invaders, however, found it much easier to conquer the empire than to rule it. The vast territory proved impossible to control from across the Sahara. The fall of the central government created a power vacuum. The once mighty Songhai Empire fractured into smaller competing states. Warlords, local chiefs, and breakaway provinces vied for control, leading to decades of instability and conflict. The trans-Saharian trade routes, once the lifeblood of the empire, shifted and declined, bypassed by the new maritime routes being established by European powers along the coast. The glorious era of the great West African empires had come to a dramatic and violent end.
But even after the Songhai Empire fell, its spirit and influence lived on, shaping the very soul of West Africa for centuries to come. Think about it. The vast trade networks they established didn't just vanish. The routes they pioneered, connecting the Sahara with the forests, continue to be arteries of commerce and cultural exchange. A testament to their incredible foresight. The gold, salt, and cola nuts kept flowing, and with them ideas and innovations. Then there's governance. The administrative systems set up by brilliant leaders like Askia Muhammad the Great were so effective that they became a blueprint for future kingdoms. He divided the empire into provinces, appointed governors, and created a professional army and navy. This wasn't just about control. It was about creating a stable, organized society where people could thrive. The principles of justice and structured government he championed echoed long after his reign, influencing how leaders ruled across the region. But perhaps Songhai's most precious legacy is intellectual. Timbuktu, the jewel of the empire, was a beacon of knowledge. Its universities and libraries were legendary, attracting scholars, poets, and scientists from all over the Islamic world. The thousands of manuscripts they produced and preserved on subjects from astronomy and medicine to law and philosophy were a treasure trove of human knowledge. While the empire itself crumbled, these manuscripts survived, safeguarding wisdom that would enlighten future generations and stand as proof of a brilliant African intellectual tradition. This legacy is also deeply personal and cultural. The stories of legendary figures like the powerful warrior king Sonni Ali and the devout scholar Emperor Askia Muhammad are not just history, they are epic tales of ambition, power, and faith. These stories are still told today, instilling a sense of pride and connection to a magnificent past. They remind people of a time when a West African empire stood as one of the world's great powers. So when we look back at Songhai, we're not just looking at ruins or a forgotten chapter in a history book. We're seeing the foundations of modern West Africa. We see its enduring contributions in the bustling markets, in the systems of law, and in the precious knowledge passed down through generations. Songhai was far more than just a powerful empire. It was a dazzling showcase of African ingenuity, resilience, and cultural brilliance. A powerful legacy that continues to inspire and resonate across the entire continent today.